going on, guys? Welcome back to Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman. Obviously, we are not going live tonight. The Todd Butterfield did go home. He's going to be relaxing a little this weekend, but he will be able to upload pre-recorded technical analysis videos or pop in live if the market tends to heat up. As you know, looking at the coin market cap right now, not much is going on. Everything is up or down by a few percent. If you watched his pre-recorded technical analysis video today, it was a lot of the same. He did discuss a few coins which we would be looking to buy, so I'll definitely go check out that video he posted today and take a look at his charts. Let's see what the big winners are today in the top 100. BuyBox token up 11.88%. Are you kind of seeing a trend here? We've been talking about it a lot. Exchange tokens and the token dynamics behind those exchange tokens seem to be winners as long as centralized exchanges do not see too much regulation here in the near future, and they can continue to generate revenue. They produce revenue. If the token economics are built into their individual exchange token, it should go up in price as more users get on board and more trades occur on their platform. We have BuyBox token and Hobby token, the top two gainers for the day. We have also been seeing some nice gains out of Binance token over the past few days as well. Will KuCoin shares pick up their game and pick up more volume? We'll have to wait and see, but there's another example there. And then co-vesting as well is one I've talked about, a small cap that is looking to implement copy trading. And this one has just been in a huge accumulation range since it has come to market. I think if you're looking for a little more risky play on an exchange token, this may be one you need to do a little research on. I've talked about it in the live shows a few times. So before we get started, guys, obviously we have been doing the ECA giveaway for all the live shows this week. Since we are not going live, this video counts as one of the ECA giveaway videos. So leave a comment section in the comment section below with your Electrocoin ECA wallet address, and you are entered to win. The other three videos that the giveaway pertains to is this one right here, EOS Top Heavy, BTC Hold the Green when Twitch accepting cryptocurrencies, and the show that got cut short yesterday due to some internet issues with talking about the Neo airdrop. So go on these three videos if you haven't already. Leave a comment, hit the like button and the subscribe button while you're there, because why not? And then get entered to win some ECA. One entry per video, guys. No cheaters out there. But one entry per video, so you do have 4 chances to win. I will announce all of the winners tomorrow. We are giving away over 100,000 Electrocoin right back to you guys. At the very least, you'll win 5,000 Electro, which is worth $10, and I'm more leaning towards 10,000 Electro per winner, so about 20 bucks at current suppressed prices, in my opinion. So let's get started on what we're talking about here today. We were going to talk about this yesterday, but obviously internet issues got in the way. So, world's top crypto exchange, Binance, set up bank account in Malta. Binance is currently the world's largest crypto exchange with 1.47 billion in trade volume, according to CoinMarketCap data. The move brings the exchange one step closer to its plan to offer fiat to crypto deposits and withdrawals on its platform, a feature that would further improve the exchange's liquidity and facilitate new investors entering the space with fiat purchases. Talked about this a lot, guys. The next wave of retail investors, getting new people to learn about cryptos, interested in cryptos, getting you who already own cryptos to start dollar cost averaging again is what is going to move the markets higher. Binance is taking this one step further. If they can bring fiat to crypto on their exchange, that kind of changes the whole dynamic. We've talked a lot about these fiat onboarding platforms like Coinbase, Gemini, Robinhood, some of these other ones. They have very limited cryptos in which you can buy. Coinbase has 4: Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ethereum. Gemini is very similar. A lot of these stick to the top coins. So we've always been saying, as new retailers get involved, they always get on Coinbase. And as institutional money is going to start coming into play with Coinbase and some of these other Fidelity, etc., setting up custodians, that they're only going to have access to these large players. This would change the dynamic a little bit because one of the first exchanges they could then get on would maybe be Binance. And obviously we know Binance has a ton of altcoins over on their exchange. We'll have to keep up to date with how this moves forward. But I still think when institutional money comes into play, it's going to be looking at the large caps. And that's why I think you need to hold Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum in your portfolio, because that is what people are going to have access to. CZ said Binance is now working on developing a decentralized exchange, which is currently a high priority. Now, we've talked about this. They've come out and said they're going to create their own blockchain and build a decentralized exchange on top of that. And guess what coin is going to be utilizing that exchange and all integrations with that blockchain? The BNB token. We have been talking about BNB token for a while, as it does fall in that exchange token sector, which we like. But also I think there is a lot of current and future value propositions with that token, and with them continuing to reduce the total supply all the way down until it's 100 million total BNB in circulation. I think those are some pretty good token economics. Just last week, Binance revealed its plan to create a major 1 billion cryptocurrency-based fund to support blockchain and crypto startups, seeking a total of 20 heavyweight partners for the project, each of which is required to have at least 100 million under asset management. They're spreading their wings. They're making a ton of money off of traders, off of each and every one of us. Granted, you can't hate them because they're providing a great platform, but they are using that money to try to further the cause for cryptocurrencies, which how can you hate on that? And, you know, we'll see. Is BNB token going to be facilitated with some of this? Possibly. Investment giant Fidelity issues job offers for crypto exchange devs. U.S. investment giant Fidelity Investments is hiring developers to build a cryptocurrency exchange. Fidelity right now is a traditional market, so a lot of IRAs, 401ks, individual accounts used as a brokerage account is now wanting to make their own cryptocurrency exchange. We've heard similar from NASDAQ with them partnering up with Gemini, and now we know that there are people are trying to apply for Bitcoin ETFs. I don't care what people say, if they think the charts say something is bullish, bears are indifferent. There will be a lot of money coming into cryptocurrencies, and right now you are still so early in this ecosystem. You just got to continually learning every single day and try to reevaluate where the crypto market is going so you can be in the right long-term players in this space. Fidelity, with its $2.45 trillion under management, has allowed clients to hold Bitcoin alongside traditional assets, and now is reportedly circulating job offers relating to building that exchange. So if you did not know, Fidelity actually integrated, it's almost like a plugin, where if you have a Fidelity account, you can link your Coinbase account to it, and then it almost shows the total account balance as like a block folio, so that way you can keep track of what your whole investment portfolio is doing. Now, you cannot buy, sell, or do any of that or integrate with your Coinbase there, but I think it was cool how they did a plugin so that you can see like your total investment, traditional and crypto, over on Coinbase. The CEO at Fidelity has been very pro-blockchain and pro-Bitcoin, and it does not surprise me that Fidelity is trying to be one of the first movers in the large traditional assets to try to make a play for cryptocurrencies. Fidelity, meanwhile, will in future seek to offer first-in-class custodian services for Bitcoin and other digital currencies. Why is that so important? The reason institutional money has not come into the space is because they don't want to learn all the technicals, ins and outs, how to store private keys, have hardware wallets, cold storage, etc. They want a custodian which will hold all of the Bitcoin. They just want to be able to buy and sell it, and they don't want to be liable. If you have a custodian, the custodian then has insurance and is liable for that Bitcoin that is supposed to be stored. This is huge. I don't care who does it, whether it's Fidelity, whether it's NASDAQ, whether it's Gemini, Coinbase, etc. Somebody figure out the custodian services so these institutional players can get into this market and we can all get back on that bull run we want so bad. On to the next article. Research firm lowers the year-end Bitcoin price prediction by almost 17%. Now let me know your opinion on this. I know we've talked big numbers. I still think Bitcoin by the end of the year can be $30,000. And not on some of the low end for some individuals, but apparently according to this, I am way over their projections. Let me zoom in on this one for you guys. 2018 has been a turbulent year for Bitcoin, with the price going on a roller coaster ride. After plummeting by over 60% from its all-time high in December, the most popular digital currency has somewhat rebounded to trade around 11,000 in February, only to slip again and never return above the 10,000 mark since March 7th. Many analysts have suggested the Bitcoin price will go on another surge before the end of the year, with price predictions raising from 15,000 to 25,000. I think that's low. One research company, however, does not feel confident the growth will be that significant and has recently cut its year-end Bitcoin price by 17% from 15,000 to only 12,500. Now, if we're looking in the scope of traditional investments, something that goes from 7,000 and then in 6 months goes to 12,500, that's pretty impressive. But for cryptocurrencies, we expect much more, as we are very early in the space. We are speculators in the space, and speculative markets usually have the opportunity to produce much higher returns. Let's see why they reduced it so much. Stock analytics firm Trefis decreased their prediction due to the fact that, quote, there has been a notable reduction in total transaction volume across exchanges. That's to be expected. There is a lot less new users coming in. All of us who have been sticking around aren't necessarily putting new fiat into the system. Also, exchanges have finally learned how to batch Bitcoin transactions, which isn't going to show in their analytics. And the Lightning Network, so some of these smaller transactions that were on the main chain before are now utilizing Lightning Network, and all of those transactions, when you open a channel on the Lightning Network, that is one transaction. Everything that occurs within that channel does not count as a transaction on the main blockchain, so that could be affecting their analytics as well. So hope they come with a little more than that. While Bitcoin has slightly increased over the last days of May, it still fell sharply over the course of the whole month, dropping to monthly lows after almost breaching the coveted 10,000 mark. I don't know what 10,000, who's coveting 10,000? 10,000 is simply a stepping stone in my mind, guys. I think if you've been following our technical analysis, we have a really high chance on the next move to move around 8,500. If we can break through there, we then will stop at 10,000. That is a nice round number mental barrier. And all of us who truly believe in this ecosystem and aren't trying to recoup money that we put into the space, we're looking for much higher prices than that. The company went into more detail to explain the Bitcoin recovery in April and May, saying it was caused by major financial companies dipping their feet into the crypto waters. Goldman Sachs started the first cryptocurrency trading desk in the history of Wall Street, while New York Stock Exchange announced plans to open a Bitcoin trading platform, among other exciting announcements for the crypto sphere. Yeah, I think that gave us some momentum, some good sentiment, and got the people who are already in cryptos a little excited, so we put some more fiat into it. But when it says dipping their feet into crypto waters, these companies have not put even a tiny bit of money into cryptos. They haven't even scraped the surface. Just because they're talking about opening trading desks, how they're going to get an exchange, those things don't exist yet, guys. ETF does not exist yet. Custodians do not exist yet. These companies haven't even put any money into this space. When the institutional money comes, you are going to know. Now, will some use OTC, over the counter, where it's not actually on the exchange? Yes, that's a good possibility. And when you buy big sums on OTC, on agreed upon price, the actual exchange price really isn't affected. But even if all of them did OTC, you got to remember there's still a finite supply to most of these coins, or they're anti-inflationary. Therefore, at some point, the price on OTC markets is going to go up as well. The supply and demand curve is going to increase, and the price of Bitcoin is going to have to increase just due to scarcity. Now, if we actually get some more use cases for it, integrated into more merchants, more payment gateways, people are actually starting to use it. Now you're looking at the J curve and the utilization factor of the network, and maybe McAfee won't be going on stage after all. Numerous crypto aficionados are expecting for a Bitcoin price surge, with Fundstrat's Thomas Lee saying it will reach 15,000 before the end of the year. Still think that's low, but hey, 15,000 by the end of the year, that's a double up, 100% gain, not too shabby. While the outspoken crypto evangelist John McAfee, even going as far as to claim that it will be 15,000 by the end of June. In 3 short weeks, he thinks Bitcoin will be 15,000. Now, we are on a breaking point. Everybody has been seeing the triangle that every single YouTuber has been showing. If we get some kind of stimulant to get the bull market running, we can break out of that wedge. 15,000 by the end of June isn't so crazy after all, guys. Now, do I think we're going to be 15,000 by June? No. If we get a good stimulant, I could see 15,000 within a month or two pretty easily. We'll see what happens. I want you to look back at the charts. Remember what happened between November and December. That was a straight parabolic curve. And in my opinion, the fundamentals have only gotten better with some of these cryptocurrencies as they are continuing to launch mainnets, create products, and start to have some real-world use cases. And then lastly, everybody wants to know why Microsoft is willing to pay so much for GitHub, $7.5 billion. Microsoft's $7.5 billion acquisition of GitHub is a perfect illustration of how value is ascribed differently in Silicon Valley than in the rest of the world. GitHub was acquired for close to 30 times annual recurring revenue. To put this in perspective, Microsoft acquired LinkedIn for $26 billion in 2016, and that was at 7.2 times revenue. And this was considered one of the richest tech deals ever. This is over 3 times that valuation. Whoa. In Silicon Valley, there are basically 2 ways of creating shareholder value: financial and strategic. Financial value is the stuff of business school and stock markets. It's about multiples of revenue or earnings, sales growth, profit margins, and management theory. That's what we learn in the classroom. We all know what we learn in the classroom. Oh, it doesn't always apply to real world use cases. And that's really what Silicon Valley really prides itself on. It's about the ability to grow and prosper as an independent company. Now, on the other hand, strategic value has little to do with any of those things and almost everything to do with how a company's product and or market position help or hinder another company's ability to be successful. Strategic value is realized not by a business's ability to make money independently, but by its ability to generate profit for someone else. In other words, Microsoft is not paying $7.5 billion for GitHub for its ability to make money. It's paying for the access to the legions of developers, crypto developers, blockchain developers, who uses GitHub's code repository products on a daily basis, so they can be guided into the Microsoft's developer environment where the real money is made. Now, if you're looking at this, you might say, well, maybe I need to go buy some Microsoft stock. They're going to have the access to all these developers. Now, I want you to go through crypto Twitter. A lot of these developers, a lot of these projects are not liking the fact that a centralized authority will be buying GitHub, and a lot of them are moving to other platforms in order to build and store the open source code for their projects. Do you think Microsoft's plan is going to work out? Do you think that these projects are going to stay with GitHub? Microsoft's going to get some of these developers, integrate blockchain and cryptocurrencies onto a lot of their platforms? Do you think Microsoft then is a good play in the traditional markets? Or do you think what they're saying on Twitter is actually going to be true? A lot of these projects are going to leave to other options. A lot of these developers want to maintain this sense of decentralization and the true vision for cryptocurrencies in general. Will they get greedy? Will money change their mind? Those are the questions I can't really answer, but what you need to think about when these kind of acquisitions continue to occur, and how these large conglomerate, huge companies continue to try to weasel their way into cryptocurrencies. Now, incorporating blockchain and cryptos into their platform could be good, and it could be bad, depending on the reasons that you believe in cryptocurrencies. While Microsoft's acquisition of GitHub is major news, it is just another in a long line of illustrations of a basic truth about the primary value of successful high-tech startups. Namely, building a self-sustaining business is the exception, not the rule. Strategic, not financial value is what drives most successful outcomes. If you reorient your thinking around this thesis, making sense of this crazy world of Silicon Valley will be much easier. I think this applies to cryptocurrencies in general as well. The market does not always seem sane. Some of these projects that we really like and fundamentally are sound just don't see the gains quite as fast. That's why always analyzing what is going on in the crypto space, what sectors are getting volume, getting money, what is the quote-unquote popular crypto of choice, is maybe where you should put a small portion of your portfolio. We don't like the chase green candles in this community, and I hope you don't either. But at times, if you are in real belief that a mainnet, for example, is going to increase the price, whether you like the underlying token or not for the long term, you might have an opportunity to capitalize on those gains, take profit, and move it into projects you like, and definitely add some large caps to that portfolio, whether that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, etc., XRP, or Stellar. I think that is important as well. That's about all I got for you guys. Make sure to check us out on Twitter. I have to do a review on XRP, AGI. I have an interview on Saturday. I can't tell you the coin just yet. And a couple other recordings, so make sure to keep up to date with all the recorded videos we're doing. Also, since Todd is at home, I'm sure he'll be doing some recorded technical analysis for you guys if these markets decide to choose a direction. The last thing I did want to mention, though, is yesterday I did do an interview with the co-founder of Zen, Rob Viglione, right here. We talked about the 51% attack they underwent, how they affect not only Zen, but all proof-of-work cryptocurrencies here in the future. Their consensus hard fork that is coming up and what that entails, what benefits are coming out of that. new projects and new partnerships. If you remember the first interview I did with Rob, he slipped up and talked about some new projects before they were even made public. Now, what was the price action after that interview? Will this slip up also lead to those kind of price actions? I don't know, guys. It was interesting. And also, lastly, at the end of the interview, I asked him about Consensus 2018. Obviously, him and his project were there. Not so much what Zen did at Consensus. I asked him, in the broad perspective, what he thought, if he thought it was good, bad for blockchain, what he saw there. Did he see some new innovative tech coming for blockchain? Did he see a lot of institutional investors coming up to him and other projects asking, having interest in blockchain and cryptocurrencies? And I think his insight on this cryptocurrency space as a whole, you will find interesting. So definitely come over here and watch that, especially since, hey, this is way shorter than our live show, so you might as well burn that other 30 minutes on the Zen interview or the technical analysis Todd did today. And don't forget, guys, leave your ECA wallet address in this comment section, but also these three right here, because I like giving away coins back to you guys. So stay tuned for your daily updates on cryptocurrency right here at Learn Crypto.